Lesson 18, and we're going to be doing this in our fraction unit. I can add and subtract more than 2 fractions. Show one way to solve the problem. Express sums and differences as a mixed number when possible. So guys, we want to be able to get that whole number, and then after we find the whole number, the rest of this is a piece of the cake of putting the numbers back together again. And if you need to make number bonds to help you, then please do that. So right now I'm looking and I see right away that we've got 1 2/3. Check this out right there. And when we put those together, we get 1 plus 2 is 3. The denominator is 3. And that's a whole. And then when we bring down this section right here, plus 1/3, we are getting 1 whole, because 3/3 is a whole, and we're attaching this to the fraction. So now we have a mixed number of 1 1/3. So this right here is all equal to 1 1/3. All right, now we're going to show another way to solve the problem, and we're going to express the sums and differences as a mixed number. And if you need, you could use your number bonds to help you, whatever you need. But again, that first part, we want to look for the two fractions that we can add together to get us a whole. And when I look at 5/8 plus 5/8, that's going to give us 10/8. So that's going to give us an improper fraction, or a fraction greater than 1. So that's not going to give me a whole. And if I move on to the next part, it says 3/8. 3/8, I know, because I know 5 plus 3 is 8. So 8/8 is a whole. So now I could see what I need to do. I can group this section right here, and I can get 8/8. And then I can bring down my 5/8. And then I can get 1 whole and my fraction left over, which is 1 5/8. Okay, in this following problem, we have 1 3/5, take away 4/5, take another 1/5 away. Wow. So we got a lot of stuff going on here. So what we want to do is we want to use those number bonds. Those number bonds are really going to help us. So I want to break this up, and I'm dealing with the fifths. So in order to find a whole, we are going to use 5/5, because that represents a whole. And I'm going to use 3/5. And when I take 5/5 plus 3/5, we now get 8/5. All right, so basically 1 3/5 is equivalent to 8/5. And we're going to continue down, and now we're going to be able to take minus 4/5, and then we're able to subtract another 1/5. All right, so one thing at a time. We got 8/5, take away 4/5, which would give us 4/5, and then another 1/5, and this would equal to 3/5. So there's our answer, 3/5. Now we have 10/15 plus 7/15 plus 12/15 plus 1/15. And what we're going to do is we are going to add all these fractions up and see what we're going to get. So we get 10/15 plus 7/15 gives us 17/15 plus the 12/15, which give us 29/15, plus the 1/15, which would give us 30/15. Now, let me ask you a question. How many 15ths are in 30? Well, if we take one group away, we do the number bonds, we take 1 whole, that would give us 15/15. That would be 1, that would be a whole, and we're left with 15 left over, 15ths. So now if we've got 15ths plus 15ths, what is this equal to? Well, this is equal to 2 wholes, because we've got 1 whole here plus another whole here, which would give us 2 wholes. The difference between trying and doing is one leads to success, while the others leads to excuses. Problem 1 tonight, 2/5 plus 1/5 plus 3/5. First find that whole, and then the rest is a piece of cake. and find the sum of these three fractions. Problem number 2, 3/10 plus 1/10 plus 7/10 is equal to, remember, I want to see your work tomorrow. 1/8 plus 5/8 plus 3/8 is equal to, and I want to see your work tomorrow. Interesting. Try, fail, back to success. But notice, if you're trying, you're failing, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, and that's okay. As long as you're trying, you're going to lead you back to success eventually. Because you know, when people play Fortnite and games like me on video games, don't you realize that they have to try a lot to get points to be successful in the video game? Of course you do. Well, great job tonight. And remember, it's okay to fail as long as you get up and you keep trying, and you'll be successful. I promise you. Have a wonderful night.